G'day everyone. I've finished the mounted officer for the Wurttembergers. I believe it's meant to be the Crown Prince, I think, of Wurttemberg. But we've working with my customer, we've painted him up in the colours for a high-ranking infantry officer. I'm not sure what Mark's using these for. Mark, if you're listening, let me know in the comments. Is it for sharp practice or shakos and bayonets or some other system? I'm not 100% sure. But I know there are more Wurttembergers that Mark will be shipping over to me in the future. So in this video, I'm just sort of going to show you this guy, and then there'll be a slideshow of all the Wurttembergers that I've finished so far, which are the Jaegers, the foot artillery, and there was also in that batch from Piano Wargames the mounted Napoleon. So I'll put them together along with this guy and his faithful hound in a slideshow at the end. Interestingly, when I thought I'd have a look at my horse book just to check on some things, and I opened to a page that has a horse, a breed of horse called a Wurtemberger. So I kind of based the colouring on the photos in that encyclopedia of the horse. I'll put up the picture from the page in question. Okay, so that's the horse. Apparently the breed wasn't recognised officially until later in the 19th century, but I figured horses similar to that would have probably been getting about the lands of Wurttemberg. So I just thought that was a pretty cool coincidence that I opened it up and there it was. What I'll also put up I'll put up a photo of the colours that I used to paint the horse. The only ones that aren't in this photo are the I used smoke black from AK Interactive 3rd generation acrylics for the tail, and then the tail was highlighted with I think it was grey green or green grey or whatever it's called from Vallejo. Most the tack and stuff like that is black. The only other color that I did use was I used Reaper brown liner to glaze in the legs, the darkness on the legs. And in fact, if the horse in the picture in the encyclopedia of the horse, it might not show up too well on this camera, but it's just got tiny little mini socks on only its 2 back feet, so I've sort of copied that idea. Yeah, so I glazed in the black brown. I think that gives a more realistic look rather than sometimes I just paint it solid black first, but I thought it might give a better blend. I painted with starting with the whole red base. I'll just stop and show I think I've got a photo on this of the colours that I used. Okay, so they were the colours that I used for the horse, and mixing them with each other as well, not just straight into one after the other, but kind of mixing them in. And that lightest colour that you see, I didn't use that in its purest form. That was mixed with the colour next to it. So the nice dark blue, I used scale 75 colors. Let's just grab them here. I used for my base, I used deep blue, and then and then a wash, and then back in again with the deep blue, and then a highlight with Cantabric blue. And I think that looks really good for an officer's uniform. It's not too light, not over highlighted, nice and rich blue on the saddlecloth and the uniform itself. The golds and stuff were done with scale 75 metallics. The brown on the hound, on the dog, is basically a base of I think it's AK and 3rd gen chocolate chipping, I think it's called, and then highlighted up with some other browns, shield brown from Reaper and driftwood brown from Reaper. So yeah, and some off-whites for his markings. So yeah, the reds were scale 75 reds. And then the hair, yeah, I used some of my, I think, what did I base his hair with? A kind of a red leather brown from Reaper, and then I did 2 shades of Reaper red hair triad on top of that again. I think the highest highlight is a colour called Carrot Top Red. Yeah, and some different off-whites, though it might be hard to see it. The glove, for instance, has more of an ivory base, whereas the sash has more of a grey, a very pale grey base. And yeah, and a leather brown saddle. Quite pleased with how he turned out. Looks really smart. And the dog too. Yeah. So there you go, guys. Hope you enjoy the pictures that come after. Next up, that I'll be working on, for those with the Saga fans and Dark Age fans, I'll be back to doing some Dark Age stuff again. I'm going to be doing some Norse Gales next, working my way through a few of those, do a decent sized batch, and then I've got some, after that, further down the track, I've got some more of those wonderful miniatures from Bloody Miniatures for the English Civil War, and they are great fun. Those who followed your channel for a while will remember that I've done some of those before, and looking forward to those, you know, and looking forward to the Norse Gale guys. I'm just looking at some of them on the tabletop at the moment, in their sort of assembled stage on their bases, and yeah, there's some figures there that I haven't painted before. So, and I have painted a lot of Dark Age miniatures, but these I don't think I've painted them before. So that's always fun. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the Wurttemberg stuff. As I mentioned in a previous video, Mark drew his reference and passed on to me pretty much from the David Knight pair of books published by Ken Trotman Publishing, that are a recent publication on Wurttemberg uniforms of this period. So well worth a look if you're into that. As I say, I think further down the track, Mark's going to be sending me some more, because I think he got quite a few with the Kickstarter for the Wurttembergers when they came out. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoy the slideshow, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.